The Miami Heat, are they pretenders or are they contenders? Andrade, what is your take?
All right. All right. So I also have kind of a wild take with this one, but it's one, and I've been leaving this on YouTube comments, and some people have been kind of calling me out. Some people kind of agree. A lot of people disagree. I believe they're not contenders. I mean, not pretenders. Meaning, I do believe they are contenders. I think the Miami Heat, and let me say disclaimer. The big reason why I believe this is because they're in the Eastern Conference, which everybody knows if you watch the NBA, can it's significantly easier than the Western Conference Finals, especially with seeding and stuff.
Correct.
So yeah, I think the Heat's ceiling this year 2019-2020 season is the Eastern Conference Finals, and I believe the Miami Heat are going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
I believe they can, and I believe I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm leaning on that they will. And a big reason for that is, like I said, the Eastern Conference right now there's only two teams off the bat that I can say are serious contenders, and that's obviously Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
And then the Philadelphia 76ers. After that, if the Nets had KD right now this year, then I'd be okay. There's three. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no question about it.
But without KD this year, for me, there's only these two. Like, who? Can you think of anyone else that you would for sure put in that category in the East?
The Atlanta Hawks. Nah.
All right, the Atlanta Hawks. I'll give it to you. They got just how I feel with the Heat. They got a bright future, like
they do, but
hopeful
man,
future.
Come on, man. No, man.
But yeah,
right
so
now.
this year, with those two, I think depending on how the seeding works out, I could see the Heat sneaking their way. Cause look, if they were to face the Sixers anytime before the Eastern Conference Finals, I actually believe the Heat could take on the Sixers and win in a 7-game series. Number one reason, or there's several. One of them is Erik Spoelstra. Erik Spoelstra is a seasoned veteran winning coach. He knows how to work with superstars, aka Jimmy Butler right now.
Okay.
He knows how to develop young talent, aka look at Adebayo, look at Winslow. Mm-hmm. And he just knows how to run an organization, aka look at his years when he was able to adapt when he had LeBron, Wade, and Chris Bosh. So that once you put him in a 7-game series, and this is what I love about the NBA playoffs. With a 7-game series, it's not a checkers, it's a chess match. Yep. And it's all about if the coach, not just the players, but if the coaches can adapt their plan and their coaching during during the series. And I think Spoelstra, with his experience, and he's proven it before, can do it he's done it with less talent before in 15-16, I believe. So with this squad, we got, I'll just point out some names. Adebayo, great forward and center. Nothing crazy, but he's pretty good. Dragic, come on. He might end up winning 6th Man of the Year.
Possibly a strong candidate.
Yeah. James Johnson and Derek Jones, they can come off the bench if they really need to. I think they can provide, a couple points during the playoffs if our bench is hurt, injured, whatever. And then you got Kelly Olynyk, solid forward.
Derek Jones Jr. He could be like an Energizer bunny, especially when he goes on airplane mode, with those dunks. Because the man's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, he has to stay healthy. Myers Leonard, he's grown on me a lot. Every interview I watch, I start liking his mindset more and more. So I think when it comes to playoffs, especially with an organization like the Heat, I actually think he might step up when it comes. Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Herro, we'll see how they play out. All right, Dion Waiters, we still don't know what's going to happen with that, but depending on how everything works out. And then Justin Winslow, everybody else on the squad. Butler's going to be our closer. Yep. So just like, we have a pretty good squad. And then starting 5, in my mind, if you make it, all right, ignoring Dion Waiters, because even if, say, Dion Waiters is playing excellent, it could be either Winslow or Dragic as starting point guard, Tyler or Waiters, and then Butler, small forward. That's not even up for debate. And then you can put Olynyk, who can make 3-pointers as a forward, or you can put Leonard, who's gonna be great for hustle, defense, all that nitty gritty that you need during the playoffs. And then Adebayo, center, who's just gonna pop off because that's what he fucking does, and he's got energy. So I'm telling you, just watch out for the Heat. We can go on this for days. If you guys got comments, leave it down below. We'll bring it up again, but that's just what I could think of off the top right now. What do you think?
I I think the Heat are contenders in the sense for the Eastern Conference. Are they contenders to, championship contenders? No. To be championship contenders, I still think that the Heat need one more star, and that's gonna that's gonna be a topic we're gonna bring up fairly soon.
I thought you were gonna bring up the. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, fairly soon.
I didn't want to bring it up because I wanted you to take it, but that makes sense.
What we got in mind, but going back with Andrade says they got an interesting team. They got some interesting pieces, and Spoelstra is a guy. I think this is arguably the most talent that Spoelstra has had in a while,
for sure.
Not only in the starting lineup, but
probably since LeBron left
in the bench as well.
Yeah,
I think the ceiling, if they want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, is to be a 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, because with load management that a lot of teams are doing with their stars, kind of like what the Clippers are doing with Kawhi. I think there's going to be some ample opportunities for the Heat to get some wins that they're not expected to win.
I expect them to make it into at least the top 4 or 5 seeding.
I believe their ceiling is they're going to go 53-29. And they're going to be a 2 seed in the East. And with that scenario, I believe they could meet the Philly, 76ers in the second round. And with home court, I think they could pull off the upset. What's catching my attention with this team in the Miami Heat compared to the past is that they're beating the bad teams on their schedule. They beat the Hawks, both times. They took advantage that Trae Young got injured, that ankle sprain. The Heat teams in the past, we didn't have the talent, yet they were being cocky.
Yeah.
Kind of like back then, but they didn't have the time to back that up to coast it.
Okay.
They're beating the teams that they're supposed to. And they beat some legit teams. They beat the Bucks in overtime without Jimmy Butler.
Giannis playing.
With Giannis playing, but they were healthy. Yeah. They blew out the Rockets. They had James Harden. They had Westbrook. I know
I'll take that one with an asterisk, because it was a Sunday game.
Still, I
know it still says something.
That's a good team. They beat an upcoming, Suns team. They're off to a good start.
Yeah, that one was a real win.
That on the road.
And they almost
beat the Lakers.
Yeah,
at least
the Lakers had a fourth quarter run. I'll give them that. But before that, it was pretty close.
It was a tally. But I really like the composition that we got going on. That Spoelstra is having Winslow start on point guard.
Yeah.
Even though I honestly prefer to have Winslow as a second unit. I think Dragic and Winslow, they're gonna complement each other, because Winslow has a very similar game set to Jimmy Butler, and I think that's gonna be better suited going against second unit players.
Oh, okay.
But Dragic is just flourishing in the second unit off the bench. Our bench is stacked.
He's got more rest, and then he comes off. He can do his thing with less minutes.
He can do his thing. He can run the offense.
And I think it works with Winslow just because Winslow's focus isn't scoring, because we've realized he's not a prolific scorer. Mm-hmm. So when you got Butler on the team, it's all right, he just has to play his point guard, like a traditional point guard. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this real quick. I feel you. I don't believe that he are a strong contender for an actual championship.
No, hell no.
But all they have to do is make it to the finals, man. And if they make it to the finals this year, is when they have the best chance. Because if they are to face any of the LA teams, and I'm trying to think who else in the West I would could really make it there. I mean, there's a couple, but if they're to face any of the LA teams, it's their first year together. I mean, it's this Heat's team's first year together too, but that's why they have their best chance. If they were gonna beat an LA team, it'd be this year, because they're still. It's still their first year, you know what I'm saying? Still figuring things out. And Spoelstra might, surprise everybody and just prove himself. This could be this could be literally Spoelstra's team with Butler helping lead the way.
But you know what? I just got a feeling that the Godfather, Pat Riley, if you guys didn't know who I was talking about, if the Heat continue, making strides, getting better as a team, and they're showing more of that ceiling, that they're gonna be a 2 or 3 seed, I don't think Pat Riley's gonna stand pat. I think he's gonna make a move.
All right, make the transition, because this is part of the reason why I believe they could be contenders. Let them know.
I don't know if you want to bring it up, or I'll bring it up.
Because we were talking about this. All right, we were talking about this literally yesterday after the gym, after we balled, and Erwin over here brought up a pretty interesting idea, and I think we've talked about this before too. But it's that the Heat could possibly make a trade within sometime this season if Riley really believes in them. And like he said, he was just mentioning, the Heat are off on all engines. So since all engines are going well, it increases the chances that, okay, this is our time to make a move, take the risk, and try to pull off a significant trade to get a good star to you actually propel the Heat to be serious contenders.
But you know what? How should it go with that? Not only, there's a little twist about it. Not only contenders for now, but maybe a little bit of a sacrifice to be contenders, perennial contenders.
Because Nunn is young, Herro's not young, Butler's under contract for a minute, Adebayo's young, Winslow's young. We got a pretty young team with a nice. Dragic is of age, but he's coming off the second unit already, so that means that he's willing to work with the team.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I'm sure many people have heard we're definitely not going to get Bradley Beal no more because he signed that contract. He can't get traded until the end of this season, if I'm not mistaken, or it was the beginning of the summer. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. But, you could still make moves for another star or another good set of role players. Because remember, 05-06 team and even the 04 Pistons, there are teams that you don't need two or three all-stars to really, win a championship.
Or the Mavericks in 2011 when they beat the Miami Heat.
Yeah, you're right. And so you're just bringing up those examples that it's possible. Never sleep on those off the chance wins.